Now, your job is also going to be to watch the chat.
Oh, I can watch the chat. Is this audio on? I don't care.
I think it is, so watch what you say. Don't say anything about Wilson, he listens to
I
everything.
don't care anything about what they say in the chat.
We're on?
Since
We're
when?
streaming?
What?
Oh, holy cow.
That's not nice.
Have I got time to do a little introduction here before we start the match?
Hit the chat.
I need my phone.
I don't care what they say.
Hand me my phone. Thank you.
I'm kidding.
So we're streaming from Istanbul, and we're sorry we had some technical problems to start a little late, and that's a really good view of the bottom of our faces. Let's hope we can fix that a little bit. I'm sitting here with Justin Knoll from London, formerly of New York.
Formerly of Mars.
And formerly of Mars. So I still think you're from Mars. And again, I apologize for the delay. Those things happen. Technological problems happen all the time. And we had 2 days of qualifying, a tremendous amount of great play, with most impressive by Mochy, who leads the way in PR. And he's our #1 seed going into the final 8. And we're going to play 4 matches today for each of these pairings. And the pairings are seeded. The first plays the 8th, the second plays the 7th, and so on. We're going to try and stream one of everybody's match today. And here's how it works. They'll play 4 matches. You get a point for winning the game, the match, and you get a point for having a lower PR than your opponent. And the first one who reaches 5 points, the match is over. So they may not play 4 matches because you can win it in 3 matches. You could conceivably win a total of 5 points. But I think a lot of them will go to 4 matches. So the first match we're streaming, well, let me tell you who's left. We got Mochy, Dagfin, and this is the order of PR. Mochy's PR was 2.70. Dagfin Starholm from, help me, Sweden? No, Switzerland, 2.76. Zenexiska, 2.78. Dirk Schiemann, 2.9. Mochy, 3.3. Thomas Murr, 3.4, Mark Olson, 3.4, and Oliver Squire, 3.5. So these are the remaining 8 from 24 who started. They played on a computer for expediency, speed, and to be able to get a lot more high level of transcription done in time to have it done for today. Now they're going to be playing on a live board. And our first match is going to be the #1 seed, which is Mochy, and he's seeded because of the PR total, against Oliver Squire, a young man from England. I don't think Mochy needs a lot of introduction. I think most of us know who he is. He's still considered to be the #1 player in the world, but Mochy lost the UBC championship to Sander Lylov. And what this is all about is by Friday, we'll have a finals, and the winner of the finals will play Sander for the UBC championship. They're going to play in Denmark, in Copenhagen, I think in December. Our first match is Mochy and Oliver. Oliver's, I think he's 23 years old. He's a college student. He's taking a year off right now just to win the UBC. And he also beat me at Bazooki, which I think is more important. I think that's why he took off. He heard he could beat me, and he did. He's a very smart kid. He's studying math. Now our faces are cut off. Out over there? Okay, great. So very impressed with his game. Young man, he's one of the many really fine young men coming up in backgammon now. I've been playing this game for 70 years. I've been really active about 30 in the tournament scene, maybe 35. I've never seen a batch of young great players like this ever. I used to brag about how great Stick and Matt Cohn-Geyer were. They were the 2 we got like 9 of them or 10 of them now that are playing at super levels, master and grandmaster level. Okay, we're getting ready to start. They're going to play a 7-point match. They play dice on checkers, legal moves. It's going to be recorded and transcribed. You're going to see the XG feed. So actually, I don't think that Justin will sound that dumb when he tells you what's right, because he can see what was right on XG.
I'm going to be hiding it, actually. I really don't want to look at it.
You don't want to look at it? Yeah. Well, let's put your water bottle in front of whatever. But okay. I think it's more fun not to have the XG feed.
My water bottle's blocking it right now.
Okay,
I don't really want to see
I may sneak a look. Justin, do you have anything to add about this tournament?
It was fun playing it. You know, my checker play was pretty strong most of the way. My cue play was a bit rusty ever since moving to England. I really didn't have much of an opportunity to study that much, but it was great. I thought playing on the computers at first would be weird. It wasn't. I think most people got used to it and think it's a very efficient way to get the transcriptions done for the qualifiers to get to the main event, which is where we are now, and I like it. And probably should stay that.
Well, let me say this about your game. You played the first match, it was streamed, and you didn't play very well. I think you had a 6 PR, which is terrible for you, and you were a little depressed when we had lunch that day, and you bounced back. You started playing really well, and I really respect you for not giving up and for fighting, and then you had a couple of bad ones and got knocked out, but you didn't give up. You kept fighting, and I like that.
Tied for points with Mochy at the end. You know, he got in on the PR technicality, of course.
Oh, it's tied.
Yeah.
Oh.
There were a few of us tied for points that were right there. And
Mochi has an unfair advantage when you start looking at skill. That's not a fair advantage.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We need to work on that. Okay, so we now have at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see Mochi, and Oliver will be at the top of the screen. And we do see the chat. So if you have a comment, please type it in, or a question or something. And by the way, if you disagree with XG, we don't want to hear about it. And anything else, we'd like feedback. Let us know. Constructive criticism, even if it's nasty, I want to hear what you want to hear.
This is actually live, by the way, for anyone who's not sure if it's live. This isn't like recorded yesterday or a week ago and put together now, which is why there was a delay. There shouldn't be a delay if it was pre-recorded. So
here we go. They're starting now. I can't believe they actually shook hands. By the way, Oliver Squire did say he had a couple of mentors, Tim Cross and Martin Barkwell, and he felt that they've helped him in his game quite a bit. Very nice young man. I'm very pleased to see him in the game. Okay. I don't think we need to talk play-by-play about mundane plays, but I'm not sure this is a mundane play. 5-3, do you make your 3-point or do you split?
Or run.
Oh, it's his 5-3. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had the wrong side. I'm used to the baffle box, everything being on one side. This is very clear. You hit 2. I guess that's not so clear.
No, I don't think so.
What I really hate when I'm with Justin is when I make a joke like that, he takes it seriously. He doesn't think I'm joking.
My eyes go big. They're like,
It's so insulting when you think I wasn't kidding when I say stuff like that. I mean, remember, we're having some fun here. Okay. I do check the XG from time to time. And you're not going to see too many blunders, but they're interesting when they happen. And certainly Mochi had a few blunders along the way. Everybody does.
That's a really flexible position, the 3 down. Seems interesting.
Double 4s.
You have all the spares there.
Yeah,
You've got a 4 prime. You can make the 5 next roll if you're lucky.
You know, there's a saying, prime a pair, and he's got 3 checkers back, so he was playing the prime as opposed to the race. This is a great roll either way, and I'm making my 5-point. I think in this position because he's playing offensively. This is the one thing Joe Sylvester taught me years ago. Offense, defense. If you're in an offensive position, tend to make an offensive play. If you're in a defensive position, tend to make a defensive play. So here I would have made the 5-point because I really feel I'm on the offense.
Is that right over the defensive 20?
No, it was right according to XG by a lot. It was right by, I think it was quite a blunder to make the 20-point. You're really not under that much threat on the other side. Again, offense, defense. This is very, very nice. I often have a question, do I make the 4-point or 5-point here? What do you think? You start with those two and then decide.
In this spot, in this spot, I think I'm just going to keep the, keep the.
Oliver's thinking about that play, and I don't always know which is right.
I think with so many guys back, you blitzing just really isn't going to work out particularly well. In general.
There was a pretty big blunder actually to make the hit. So If Justin was playing, he would have a little bit better PR right now.
Until the match continues, you know?
Yeah, it's a little
Let's see
early.
how it goes.
It's a little early to start celebrating your PR. Or celebrating the win, too.
After move number 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, let me tell you, if I'm ahead over after move number 1, I stop and buy a drink.
Yeah, it's time to resign. I win the PR.
Yeah, that's right. No, they ding you for the resign.
We've learned this.
Yes. We want to thank Hussein, who's doing the transcription as we go, doing the XG as we go, and that is one tough job. I've done that. I did it in Monte Carlo for the World Championships, and I was never under more stress in my life, trying to keep up and make sure you don't miss a play and miss a roll, especially in the bear off. It gets really tough.
Yeah, it seems clear.
Yeah, and I want to point out, you can't believe how big a team there is here, in addition to idiot volunteers like Justin who help out just because they're nice guys. How many people are involved
I was looking at this.
to make this work?
Here?
Okay.
This seems like a great play, actually, when I look at it. That was the first thing I saw was like just running out.
I don't see another play. I think you're going to get stuck there, and you know.
Oh, what a play.
You know what? I got a problem. It doesn't tell me the pip count. I've been used to seeing that all week long. I got to get back to counting pips again. That's the biggest difference on the computer. By the way, there's another difference too. We used a very higher speed on the computer. We used 1 minute per point of the match. Now we're back to the standard 2 points per. We have 14 minutes on the clock for a 7-point match with a 12-second delay.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering if he was going to switch again.
I like that play coming out. I think a lot of people wouldn't do that, and Justin saw it right away.
But this is stronger for filling in the 5-point, which is really what he wants to do next.
I mean, he never rolls 5-5 here. Why wouldn't you make this play?
Yeah, you only get hit with 5-5, which is why this is such a strong play. And if he just makes the 3, it's not a big deal because you still have the 9-point.
Right. I'm gonna have a little talk with Oliver later. I don't like when you move your checkers and you're gonna move them around, that you put them against, we even made a rule in the USBGF that I wrote, that you must keep it separated a little bit so you know which checkers are moved. And I really think it's important for good sportsmanship and to not make mistakes in moving the checkers.
2-1.
I think I know how to play that one.
And if he doesn't roll a 3, the cube is coming. And the cube is coming.
No, could it be too good? I mean, you might take a roll here. If you don't roll a 6, you double next time. Oh, you have cracking numbers though.
You've got 2 guys behind it.
Yeah, you got 5, 4, and 5s. You got some cracking numbers.
Why don't we let Mochy worry about the take pass decision?
There's
but
no.
You've got to give the cube.
I don't think there's any chance that it could be anything but a take.
Why?
Because all primes versus primes are takes. Did you ever hear Stick's lesson on that?
But he's not anchored. So I mean, I see that it's a take, but this is not an easy decision.
Oh, it is a take. Okay, I didn't see that, honestly. All prime versus primes are takes.
Unless, I don't know if you
unless
got
they're
Stick's,
not normal prime versus primes.
Wrong. This is not Stick's rule. Stick's rule is all primes versus primes are takes, unless you lose too many gammons.
Well, actually, the way he stated it to me, I took the lesson from him.
Scoop.
All normal prime versus primes are takes. And
Which is a monster.
A non-normal prime versus prime is one that gets gammon too much.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. But believe it or not, I think many people would drop that cube. Many people would drop it.
Yeah. I mean, I would consider not being involved in the game.
If I wasn't playing for PR, I might drop it too. Remember, there's something going on here when you're playing for PR that might be different, although Mochy probably always tries to make the best play.
3-6, not great.
Sometimes you make plays that may not be the best play for XG.
3-1 fills the prime in.
I'm impressed. Oliver had that blunder, and he's still playing it under 4 PR.
If you make the wrong first opening move, and now you have a recube, yeah.
Wow.
That didn't take long.
Yeah. I don't think it's a recube.
Mochy hates it when I say this.
It's got to be a recube. Yeah, it's got to be a recube.
I go, that's how you win 2 world championships. by rolling like this, having your opponent roll like that.
Oh, he hates that?
Well, he goes, well, you think it was all luck? And I go, of course not. It doesn't hurt to have some on your side.
I know you play Mochy a lot, but the next time you play him, when he makes a bad play, you say that's how you don't win 3 world championships.
Never going to get your third one.
Yeah, if you play like that, you'll never see the third one.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take this. You don't even have 2 guys behind the prime to even try to anchor, you know? So you could legit just lose G's here.
Yeah, well, there aren't that many cracking numbers. I mean, you know, what cracks? Double 6, you're stuck, but then you make 2 interboard points and you keep the prime. What cracks? That's the real question here. 6-3 makes the 3-point.
Even 3-2, you can still roll again. You know,
Yeah,
you just go to the 1 without hitting.
That's right. Oh, that's the play? Okay.
Well, you don't want to enter with like a 3-2 or something, or 3-6.
And why would you do it without hitting?
Just in case he hits you back.
Ah, but don't you want to get hit back and dance a whole bunch?
Well, you might also roll a 3-2, right?
Now, this is a huge clear pass. Mochy took a long time to give the cube, and that's the right play when your opponent has a huge pass. Make him think that you weren't sure about doubling. That's an old Indian trick.
Native American.
No, old Indians.
No, I'm kidding.
No, they're all Indians. They're Indians who are over 60. They know the trick. It's an old Indian trick. The young Indians don't know that trick.
No, they don't.
All right. The cube action was right for both of them. Those, you know, I know we tend to focus on cube action, but there's a reason. Those are the biggest swings, and they're exciting, and they also are the biggest PR swings usually. You make a cube error, and a little bit of a mental cube error, and all of a sudden it's a blunder. You make a little checker error, and it's not a blunder. It's just a small error.
They're saying us being in this room, there's a massive echo. Can you hear that on the other side? Huh? Can you hear an echo on the other side? Yeah. Nothing you can do about that.
So would you shorten the room, please, Wilson?
Yeah.
Consider it done.
Okay. Wilson says yes, he'll do anything. We're sorry about the echo. I think the way we can.
We're sorry about the echo.
Echo. How about we talk softer? Maybe that'll be better. Let's try talking a little bit softer. Tell us now when I talk softer, does that help the echo?
No.
No? That just makes it harder to hear the echo?
Okay. So green should hit.
Green? Black?
Yeah. Is it black or green?
It's black. It's black and white. Not everything's black and white, but this is.
I think the checkers are actually green, Phil. I was just.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Those are green checkers?
Yeah, they're dark green though.
They're playing on the, is it the FM Earth board or one of their boards? It's the Galaxy board.
Yeah.
They're very nice boards for the money. I think for under $10,000, these are great. No, they're really wonderful boards, and I don't knock them at all. I think for the money, I have to admit, I'm a partner in P40. I just bought an FM board, a really nice little board to have here, because I didn't want to keep, and I wanted to have that board so I could beat Oliver Squire at Mizuki, and something backfired. And what makes me the most unhappy is you bet on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very unkind.
I had to take my chances.
Yeah, a lot of guts to bet on the favorite.
I thought it was a pretty good bet.
Yeah, you bet on a giant versus a grandmaster versus me. Nice job.
I voted on a grandmaster versus a giant.
Right, a small giant. Okay, refresh. All right, what's going on here? What's going on here is, stacks are good.
I think it's cube time.
Yeah, it's an ugly game. Pret, position, race, and threats. There's no question who's winning position. Race, I don't know. I have no clue because it's got to be Mochy in a race. I don't know, not that much. Threats is all Mochy. I think it's got to be a double for sure.
Yeah, I like how much he takes his time though, like he's thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh, I took a long time on a cube where I thought I was too good to double, and my opponent grabbed it. After I took so long, because he thought maybe I didn't have a cube. Well, let's talk about what's happening here. The score is 3-0. Mochy's off to a great start, and 3-0 means 4 away, 7 away. And the interesting thing about this, usually when you're way behind, you get aggressive with the cube. But if you're too aggressive, for example, taking a cube, and you get gammoned, at the score, you lose the match. So Mochi actually has a pretty good gammon value here, and a reason to take the 2 cube. The other reason, if he was doubled, losing 2 points instead of 1 doesn't matter that much. So Mochi's take point is pretty low. So most people think just because you're winning, you should be conservative, and when you're losing, you should be very liberal with the cube. It's not always that way. It depends on the score and also on the position, if it's a gammonish position. A gammonish position meaning there's a high potential for gammons. So I always try to set the stage about what's the score and what's going on at the score. And I really learned that from Kit Woolsey, my first real professional teacher that I paid for lessons. And he was very, very conscious. He wrote a good article called The 5-Point Match, which is still very, very valid today, about how you play at different match scores. And that's what I love about match play over money play. In fact, I'm very bored. I think money play or heads up play or DMP is very boring unless you have enough money on the game. I guess if you're betting play for $1 million a point, that some people do, it's not so boring. But match play is so intellectually more stimulating and exciting because of what happens at different scores.
So after this match, we're going to try to fix the echo issues by using my AirPods, which we can't really connect in the middle of the first match.
I have AirPods too. We're both going to wear AirPods?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Or I'll wear headphones?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll try it.
So maybe the microphones on that will help fix the echo issues that we have in this massive hall.
Yeah, we're in a big room, yeah. Well, we'll do what we can. This is all new to us. We just got all set up late today. We should have set up yesterday maybe, but we were so busy with so many matches. I mean, it was amazing.
5-2, 2 guys in. 4-1. Probably.
Hit cover?
Yeah, hit on the 5 and make the 1.
Yep, of course you hit on the 5 instead of the 2. That's the place you don't want is checker.
And let's see how they enter. Double 3 stands. So we enter, we make the 5, and probably play 13-10 or step up.
I would step up.
Yeah, both are probably good. They both serve different functions.
If you're up in the rate, okay, now here's the interesting thing. Mochi has made the ace.
Double 6s.
Yeah.
All right.
Mochi has made the ace point, and that's something you would not have seen 20 years ago.
Unless Mochi was playing them. Was he playing them?
No, unless Jim Pasco was playing.
He was doing that 20
He was doing that. He was beating the pants off of everybody because they didn't know what to do when he did it.
Oh, wow. What does this play?
Well, I am running with the back checker, I think.
It's funny, the bot recommends 13-2 hit.
Wow, because of the blot and Mochi's board?
And we have the 5-point made. We've got better structure.
I would have missed that play for sure.
Wow.
The hit looked ugly to me, but,
Tough play. Here we hit and cover.
Well, once you make your ace point, aren't you trying to play a blitzing and hitting game?
Yeah.
You don't try to prime it. That's why we cover.
That's
why we cover too, yeah. So the play Mochi's looking at right now is only a 0.24 error.
Yeah, no big deal.
He's not going to make it. I'll bet money he
course
won't make it.
I've played him so much this week that he just sets these things up and then goes through them and then goes through the rolls and then decides on likely what he thought was the best play to begin with.
Oh, yeah, but if you make a really bad play at first and you see how bad it is, that makes the right play look so good. You feel so good about it.
That's the opposite for me. If I set up bad plays, I start to think of reasons why they might be okay.
Oh, really?
And then I go, you know what? Maybe I will do this play.
But I don't have that problem because I don't even see the good plays.
Well, there you go. Problem solved.
Problem solved. Just make whichever bad play works. This is the right play.
Yeah, I mean, once you have the ace point made, you are fairly committed to blitzing.
Yeah.
And this would not be good for the PR of the Mochi man if he decides to not cover the deuce. I mean, if he hits the guy, he's on the roof.
He's got to cover the deuce, and because I know it's right from XG.
Yeah,
and Mochi makes right plays 99% of the time.
I just don't know why it took so long. Okay. Ooh.
By the way, you see Mochi uses up a lot of time on his clock. That's his.
He's thinking about giving the
MO.
cube here at the 4-away score. Yeah. The 4-away score. This is good. The 4-away score increases the value of your gammons, right? It's very efficient.
Yeah,
If he takes
wins
the
the
2
match.
cube, you get the 4.
Yeah.
And so green has to be very careful
I don't know,
about taking
I don't
these
know if I
amounts.
take this or not. I think yes.
I think
I'm not sure.
Oliver is a favorite to pass, but if he takes it,
Oh,
I would be very
we can
impressed.
see XG, it's right on the cusp.
Yeah.
This could go, you can flip a coin. 0.016 is the same as a pass or take, as far as I'm concerned, especially because it's only plus plus, it's not a rollout.
I would probably pass.
For those of you who aren't familiar, everything is being done on Extreme Gammon, www.extremegammon.com. It plays better than any human, and it tells you what the right play is and by how much. That's what we're talking about, and that's what you're seeing as we play. And if you don't have XG, you're not a real serious player. If you have a Mac, or you don't want to really get into it that seriously, then get XG Mobile on your iPad or on your iPhone, or your smartphone. He's passed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very
You
small.
knew he was going to pass. How'd you know that?
I thought he was going to pass.
How'd you know that?
Because I was going to pass.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought it was the correct decision. If I thought it was the correct decision, he probably did too.
Okay. So,
And we both would have made a tiny mistake.
yeah. Now at 3-away, your gammons are not that valuable. Believe it or not, even though they win you the match, they win you 1 point too much. And if you just win 2 points with the cube turn, you get to Crawford, which is a big plus.
Double sixes.
Yeah.
Strong.
And by the way, there is also in XG, it tells you the luck factor. You can see Mochy has been very lucky in this match compared to.
You just make the 5. Just leave the blot there, make the 5. You don't care about being hit because he's breaking his anchor to hit you. So just make the structure. And if he breaks his anchor to hit you, the punishment is the fact that you made your 5 point, you know?
And
So look at this,
And
right?
I wasn't sure.
Is he even going to hit?
What, he rolled a 2-1?
2-1.
You might make your 5 point.
No. No. Sometimes you do. Like if somebody rolls like 6-1, 6-1 in the opening, followed by 2-1, you break the 7 point to make the 5.
What was that sequence again?
6-1, 6-1, 2-1.
Wow. Yeah, I can picture that. That's a really good approach. No wonder you're such a good teacher. I just learned something from you that I really didn't know that well. I was always wondering when you do that. It's tricky for me. Very good.
Anytime I have the opening like 6-1 followed by 2-1, it's my first thought is, can I break the 7 to make the 5? And it is right a lot.
Wow.
So
Okay.
here we're just going to make the 3 point
Sure.
and then play 8 to 5.
God, I wish I missed that pip count. All week long, I see the pip count, and now I got to start looking at it and estimating it.
Wow. So he could either try to run off, which seems terrible, or we can just double slot the ace and deuce, which, although looks terrible, won't get you hit right now. So
Who was it that said never leave a shot? Matt Cohn-Geyer? Never leave a shot.
well, it depends on the position, right?
He was being facetious,
Yeah.
but you tend to never leave a shot, just like you always make the 5 point. There's lots of times, of course, you leave a shot, but I know one thing I learned by playing Matt recently, I leave shots a little too much, especially ones that cost you the match. It's a no-brainer. You can't be thinking about the cube, so just roll. Make the ace.
Yeah, if the echo's too much now before we get it fixed, you can just mute us.
Well, that's right.
Yeah,
And you can read lips.
that's true. Put on your favorite album, you know? It's not a problem.
I hate to give up a minute, that's your landing point. I hate to give up the 8 point, that's your landing point. I hate to give up my 6 point. What the heck do you do?
Well, are we leaving shots, Phil?
No.
Well, okay, then there you go. Now you see all these play.
Is that your play?
Yeah, I don't want all these shots. I mean, I can't run off my anchor right now. I don't have a number that's going to allow me to do it. I don't want to give him the tempo to break the 18 point by leaving a shot in the outfield either, right?
Okay.
Here we're starting the next best point in line. We have a spare to play with on the 13. Here we're going to make the deuce and slot the 4. What is this? 6-4. Oh, wrong side. No, wait. What is this? Oh, it's a volunteer play now. Wow. I would have maybe messed
Oh,
this up.
XG's saying you bring 2 down.
It's a volunteer now.
Yeah, this was the knee-jerk play that you would have made.
I think so. Yeah, but Mochy sees it.
But see, this goes against your action. You always said that your knee-jerk plays are usually better than when you think about it.
Yeah. Well,
And this time you were wrong.
yeah. Well, here's the. I wouldn't have even thought of another play. Wow, Mochy's so good.
He's not so good. He's so great. He's just great. But the bad news is, so is Sander.
Oh. Mochy's just as good as me.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, no. I feel sorry for him.
So maybe he's not so great. He's just great.
He sees it, though. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
the blunder a lot of times is not even considering what the best play is. So, yeah, he really.
At this score, if you're Oliver, now I think you do need to get a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, you can get frisky. I
You
mean,
gotta get frisky and gamble.
you want to make the deuce, guy leaves a shot, you just give him the cube, right?
Yeah.
Mochy's structure is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So what is his full roll? What does he play so far? He has a 3-2 to play? Yeah, I would just play 13-8. I'm not trying to break my structure. That's the asset in my position. And it might be time to come off of the 18.
So why can't we, I did something wise.
No. Can just make the 4. Yeah. Both plays seem reasonable, but the problem with coming off the 18, man, they both look good. You know, you can get stuck on the 18, but
I'm clearing the 18 while he's got a blonde. I'm taking both off the 18.
while you're still outboarded, it's very tough. Okay.
Mm-hmm. XG likes 13-4. And I guess part of the reason is your opponent is kind of stiff and doesn't have that much to play. So you don't gamble the shot right now. You might be able to wait him out.
Yeah, I think the problem with coming off of the 18 is that if he hits you and you hit back, you still have a blot in your board. Whereas if you play 13-4 and he hits you with an ace, you see how he's leaving the blots everywhere?
Yes.
So you have a lot of life after death, even if you are hit, right?
Okay, the reason I have that feeling for the 18, and now I know it's wrong, so I'm not going to argue for it, but my thought process was you want to clear the back point if you're winning the race, and that way if you don't get missed, you'll have a cube soon.
Yeah, but if he hits you with a 2, right, and then you hit back and you still have the blot in your board, right, it's also a problem.
Okay. Now, if I'm successful here, I still won't have a cube for a few rolls. The other one might give me a cube. I guess when you're leading 4-0, though, being able to give the cube is not as important. If the score were reversed, it might be right even. Because you're thinking more about how fast can I give that cube. That's why
Not an easy decision.
it's not tough. It's not easy. He's looking at my play. Don't be an idiot and make my play. Come on.
If he knew that he was agreeing with you, he would choose the other play.
Oh, for sure. Obviously, he couldn't hear us because he knew that was my play. And that certainly hurt his PR too. His PR just jumped from under 2 to over 4.
That gives Oliver a chance, but he was missed. What's the rule? Why isn't he
Yeah.
just covering?
So we saw a pretty bad play by Oliver and a pretty bad play by Mochy, and that should make you all feel better.
Well, we saw the 6-4 as well.
Yeah,
Just a
that's
moment
right.
ago.
So don't feel it's so hopeless to play these guys. You can beat them. You beat them, I beat them.
It's true.
Not regularly, but we beat them occasionally.
Oh, I win. Just not the PR point against Mochy. 5-2.
What else can you do but 2 down?
Yeah, of course you're not breaking your structure.
Yeah, this race is still close enough where you don't leave shots.
I don't know the race. Have you counted, Phil?
I haven't counted, but I can just visually see that Mochy's not leading by enough. He would have a cube here if he was up 15% of the race. I go by Grant Hoffman's rule of 4, and I can just visually see he's nowhere near 15%.
How about now?
Now he's probably losing the race. That's only if he moves his checkers.
Yeah, he's got to come all the way around.
Yeah.
He's only a 55% favorite after this double six.
He's well up in the race. And in these positions, I use a very, very fun method of estimating the race called colorless counting, developed by a really good friend of mine, Phil Simborg. And I can quickly estimate.
Did Oliver miss a cube?
I don't see how he missed the cube. No way.
I don't know. I haven't seen the.
No,
the
Oliver
deuce.
could. He was back on the 20 point.
No. When the shot was left with the deuce.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay.
We can ask the people in our chat. Does anybody think Oliver missed the cube? Why don't you put it in the chat?
I was just looking at the chat when someone mentioned it. You know, trailing out the score with the shot, but I don't know what the race was.
Oops.
Yeah, he must have. Oliver's PR is up in the 5s now. We had a few positions like that during our game when Oliver and I played in the UBC.
So why can't we make one of these bigger? We can't.
Where he left a shot when I had a 5-point board on the other side, and I had a volatility cube just based on my score deficit and my ability to just roll a hitting number.
By the way, unlike our qualifying, if Mochy plays at 17 PR and Oliver plays at 19 PR, Mochy still wins 1 point, and that 17 PR doesn't carry over. It doesn't matter at all.
It does matter.
Well, it does?
Well, if there's
As a
tied
tiebreaker.
points after 4 matches, whoever has the lowest PR moves on.
Yeah, it matters between the two of them. Okay.
But if
after-
one plays a 19 and one plays a 17, the 17 is better than the 19. So.
That's the part I wasn't sure of. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that help. See, it's great to have a math expert with me. Oh,
Far from it.
okay, here's where I use the Keith count and I add eyesight. I like the combination. I learned this from John O'Hagan. Keith count does not take into account crossovers or checkers off, but it takes into account pretty much everything that the Keith count takes into. So you can plug this pretty much in with a formula and know pretty much whether it's a double and a take, but then you have to adjust for score. So Mochy should be more inclined to take, believe it or not, because at this score, when your opponent's at 0, winning 2 points instead of 1 doesn't hurt him that much. So actually, he'd probably take a little bit deeper than for money, and that's why this is probably a take. Although it would be a take for money too. If it's at 24%, your take point in a race like this for money would be about 22%, maybe 22.5%. And so this would be a take no matter what, and I'm sure Mochy will get this right.
What's the count? 63 to 66. What is this? 10, 20, 30, 40, 51, 61, 62, 63.
Okay, he took, not unsurprisingly, not surprisingly, I mean, that's what I meant. We knew he was
4-4.
taking because it was right. I'm not going to get into wastage. There was some wastage there, but from both sides about the same. Now, if Oliver had had 1 point instead of 2, that might have been a pass. That probably was, because losing 2 points at that score would hurt.
He got us the pip count now
Where's the pip count?
on the screen.
Where? Point to it. Oh, there, okay. That's going to save me some time. I happen to be one of the fastest pip counters in the world. The problem is I never get the right count. But I'm pretty fast.
Yeah, count twice, average the numbers. It's fine.
Mhm.
6-5. Wow. Okay.
Well, that double four was very big for Mochy. He's right there, but
6-3.
2, 4, 6, 7 check. Here's where this is where John O'Hagan taught me to use EPC. That would take me a little bit to do that here.
1, 6-3.
Yeah.
Mochy is
There's no way to get a recube in right yet.
5-2.
Mochy needs to be a little stronger for the recube. In fact, he has to be very strong to recube at this score. He has to be almost gin to recube, because otherwise, if it's even the smell of a take, Oliver will take it and
I
redouble.
think you have to wait till there's like 2 rolls left, but like 2 rolls if you are on the ace point, you know?
Yeah, a 3-roll position is 19%, so that's a big, huge take, and not even a double at this score. So you're right, it's got to be a 2-roll position, which is about 14% for your opponent. A 2-roll.
And even though there's 4 checkers left on the board, this isn't a 2-roll position because 2 of them are on the 6 and the 5, which is just too much. 4-3 miss.
That's a
Misses.
very bad roll for Mochy.
No, put one on the ace and that one goes
Yeah,
there.
no
That way
misses.
we don't miss next roll.
No
Okay.
misses. Now,
Oliver has a chance to get back in this if he rolls a 6. Oh, no 6.
I was thinking if he only gets one off, does Mochy have a cube? And still, at this score, it might not be. Let's see how he plays it. Well, there's no question how you play it. You take the 4 off and is there any other play besides 6-3 and 4? What else can you do besides that? That's it. Now, does Mochy have a recue? All right, what's his take point?
His take point is what, like 7 or 9%?
I think, yeah, I was gonna say 8%, so we're right there. And he does give the cube,
Very good.
because I think he has that. I think he may have 8% here. I think he has it. I would take it.
Well, we said
It
we
says-
had to,
it
we
gets
said
Mochy-
he had to wait until a 2-roll position to get it, and now we've reached a 2-roll position, right? So now he's giving the cube. And the take is up to the other side.
Well, like I said, I thought a 2-roll position is around 14%. This one is not quite a
Yeah,
2-roll.
But that's if he also had a pure position, right?
right.
So if he had
All
4 on
doubles.
the ace and 4 on the ace, but he could also just roll 2-1 next time for green.
Yeah.
And 2-1 for white is way different than 2-1 for
Well,
green.
actually, he's given us the answer. It says that you have 10%, and both Justin and I believe the take point is a little less than that, so it's a take. We think it's 8 or 9%, and sure enough, it is a take. And by the way, there's another reason to take this cube. There's not going to be any skill difference in this situation.
There's also a reason to not take it, and it's the PR and the matched if you don't think it's a take.
Oh, that's the main reason, but that was a mistake.
But yeah, passing is.
Yeah. But it didn't cost them that much. There's only a 0.56 error.
Yeah,
pass.
you don't want to play a 5 against Mochy. He's only had, how many matches during the tournament did he play over a 5? Maybe 1?
I don't know if he was there.
Yeah, the very last game. Because he knew he was in already. He knew he had qualified.
Nah, that's not why.
No.
If Mochy knew he was in already, he still would like to play at 1. That's the
He
kind
would
of guy.
like to play at 1.
But the last match, he did play at 1. He played at 1.3 or something like that against Mark.
Yeah, that one was an important one, though. After that one, he was in.
I got you.
6-3.
So-
Just come out to the 18.
Unless there's a major surprise, Mochy's going to win a point on the PR. And he's a huge favorite, of course, to win a point as well by winning the match. Starting out 2-0 is a very, very big spot in this kind of a format.
Oh, no, I made this mistake earlier this week where I made this running play in this spot,
Mm-hmm.
thinking that was a good idea, and the best play is to double hit. It doesn't matter which double hit you do.
It matters. You'd rather hit off the 3 than if you're putting 2 up than the 1.
No, I mean, it does make a difference, but I'm saying as long as you're not running,
yeah.
the difference between
This is the right play.
The
Yeah.
difference between the first best play and the second best play
Yeah.
isn't a lot.
Now, the main reason it's better to hit off the 3 than the 2 when you're putting 2 up is you want to make the 3 point, you don't want to make the 1 point.
Yeah. I'm just, when I see him looking at running, I know that's wrong because it happened to me earlier this week. I did it, and it was incorrect to do
Yeah,
so.
if I stopped to think about all my mistakes, I wouldn't have time to play. But if you made it earlier this week, that will help you remember it.
Yeah. 2 and the 4 hits.
I'll never forget the big mistake I made against Matt Kungire last week. I won't make it again. I was playing Matt Kungire. That was my big mistake.
I knew that one was coming.
Did you?
I did. I smelled it from a mile away.
Okay. And I think I made a big mistake today playing Oliver Squires.
It was a cheaper one.
That was a cheaper one.
He didn't even bet you. I did.
That's right. Well, he didn't know the game. I was teaching him Mizuki.
I didn't care if he knew
Yeah.
the game.
He didn't know the game that he
Oliver.
beat me.
I
Yeah.
take Oliver.
Yeah. I coached him though. I was being nice. I told him
We make the 5.
he wanted to use Mizuki like 4 times when I was
no, the
wrong.
no hits.
Okay.
Well, he must be up in the race.
Yeah.
No? Interesting. I like how he's thinking about not hitting. Wow.
I don't like hitting here.
Hitting is a
I
mistake.
don't like hitting.
Very strong, Mochy.
You're giving up your 8 point. You're leaving a double blot in the outfield.
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't have
It's
as many
usually
guys
wrong.
back as the other guy.
Ooh.
But
Do you make 2 board points? Do you make your opponent's power point?
I think you make both points. It just increases the likelihood of him fanning, which is what you want.
Mm-hmm. Plus, it's more gammonish, but do gammons really matter here? Not really. Again, if you get a gammon here, if Oliver were to win a gammon, all that happens is Mochy loses his free drop, which is not worth that much. So that argues against making the 2 points.
Yeah, but if he fans, you might pick up the guy on the 4 as well. So it
Mhm.
increases the likelihood that he stays on the roof.
Yeah, I failed to mention for those of you who don't know, because the scorecard isn't showing it, this is a Crawford game.
Yeah.
Nobody's allowed to double, so you're wondering why the cube hasn't been turned. The first game you play, when one opponent is 1 from winning, nobody can double. Now, if Oliver were to win this game, of course he would double every game, or pretty close to immediately, because he's got nothing to lose. When your opponent needs 1 point, you may as well put the cube on 2. But this game, there's no cubes. That gives the leader somewhat of an advantage. Quite a big advantage, actually. I wonder what percentage advantage it gives, but it's pretty huge. Oh, I see. The scoreboard doesn't show Crawford, but if you look at the pip count at the bottom, it says the word Crawford. I'm not used to seeing that. And by the way,
Why is 13-10 better than this play that Mochy made when you're giving us 6 to hit you as well? Wow, that's so interesting.
robustness.
I mean, this is just terms you're using. These are just words. Robustness.
Words is all the way we can express any kind of meaning, and it sounded good, didn't it?
No.
Didn't it sound good? Come on, admit it.
It sounded like a salad dressing.
It sounded.
It sounded like a salad dressing, you know? Robustness.
Wasn't it Roberti that came up with robustness?
Maybe.
I think it was one of Roberti's original books.
Modern backgammon or something.
Yeah, I think he said you want a robust, like,
You want a robust salad.
you want it. Okay. By the way, over a live board, when I have a Crawford game, I take the cube and take it off the board completely, so there's no chance of forgetting and somebody doubling and somebody taking. That causes a lot of problems sometimes. It's an illegal cube now. It didn't used to be. If somebody did that, they could get away with it.
I mean, you hate doing this, but you have to do this. There's just nothing you can do. You're not breaking your board for anybody, right? Yeah, good luck with that one. That one's not moving.
That would be my play.
Yeah.
We're playing legal moves. What that means is, had Oliver made an illegal move and caught it, he would still, even if he hit the clock, would be able to correct it. And Mochy would be obligated to point it out and have him corrected, whether it helps Mochy or not. A lot of controversy about that rule.
What would he be obligated to do?
He's obligated to tell Oliver that he made an illegal move.
What if Mochy doesn't see the illegal move?
Then he can't. He doesn't. We're trusting Mochy to be honest, and if he sees it.
But if the player makes a mistake, why can't Mochy make a mistake too, you know?
Oh, it can be. That's why I don't like legal moves. I think legal moves is a wrong concept. The guy makes an illegal move, you should have the option of letting him keep it or pointing it out. I didn't feel that way when we were using 2 sets of dice because of other complications.
Oliver looked at the best play too, which was running in the mid there.
Uh-huh.
That was interesting. It's tough to make, especially when you have the blood on the bar as well. But you have the opponent outboarded 4 points to 2 at that point, you know. So
Uh-huh.
those sorts of stretch plays sometimes are hard to make. Mochy and I had a few of those come up during the training before the UBC.
Uh-huh.
4-6.
Yep, I asked Mochy yesterday what he's gonna do to prepare. He does 2 things, and he does this all the time. He's gonna sleep and practice. Get enough sleep and practice.
Get some water.
Yeah, water and eat too, of course, that's essential to live. But he doesn't fool around. He won't play any of the variations with me or anybody, even though he can take my money easily. He won't do that. He won't get involved in sightseeing or fooling around. He's resting and studying the day before or the day of important matches. He takes the game very, very seriously.
So the reason why hopping out is bad here is because the race is even, and if you hop out and get hit, you're going to be negative in the race, right? So that's
Yeah,
the
but it's
reason
not,
why
it's not a very big error though. It's
that's
pretty
the
close.
that's the reason why it's wrong then.
Yeah, but it's my play.
But if you get hit, then you're no longer even in the race, you know?
Yeah, but it's my play.
Okay, I'll take the other play.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm not wrong by a lot, but it's more robust.
Yeah, but he sees the race. If you were already down, right, you would come out for the flexibility.
Yes. I think on the questionnaire, God, I can't remember who said it. His favorite tip is always consider the pip count. Which one of the players told me that was his favorite tip? Anyway, it's a good one.
Double 4s, the worst.
And here I would say, you're so lucky rolling doubles. I really want to make an, and it is surprising that I have most of my teeth after making comments like that.
2 down.
2 down. What else? I don't want to go to the ace, to the deuce point.
13-6. Yeah, 2 down is actually second best. 13-6 because the guy's broken his board. You can afford to be more flexible.
And you might get double shots.
And you might get double shots.
You get more shots that way.
It's like 5-1. Be a disaster.
Wish I could see the clock better.
Oh, wow, he's really trying to take advantage of it. I don't know if he's psyching him out or not. But,
Oh, man.
you do this one. I'm rooting for double 3s. No, I'm kidding.
Well, if you're playing on a computer, it would be double 3s for sure, because everybody knows that computers are fixed rolls.
No, double 6 is way better.
Mochy's down to, is it down to a minute 20? Yeah, he is. Mochy often lets his clock run down to dangerously low, but he never times out. I don't recall him ever timing out.
Never?
I don't know.
Oh!
Wow.
The hitter.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think you can hit, though. The race is very close. So I think you just come all the way out and play 4-1, yeah? Hitting would be crazy. You have to really just take this roll and be happy that you're no longer being primed. Your board looks like trash. And plus, you look like a genius when you play 4-1, you know?
So ugly to play 4-1, but you're so right.
But you can't stay there.
The race is his only game. He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to wait and get a hitting game with a board like that. He's crashed. So you're right.
And if you thought Mochy's last idea when he left blots everywhere was crazy, wait till you see what he does now. You know, now that his
With
board
the
has
2 blots.
2 blots in there, you know. If you thought he wanted to spread it before, wait till you see what he tries to do now.
Yeah, wait till Wednesday. You're going to see what's going to happen then. Wow. That's an old joke, but I see what you're saying. You left 2 blots, maximum hittage.
This one's safe. But he's not going anywhere. I think those guys on the 13 and the 16
I think Oliver's
are gonna
played
stay
this
there
game
for a
pretty
while.
well. I think Oliver stayed tough.
You know, it'd be funny if Mochy just makes the 4. Boom! And leaves the 3 blots. Exactly.
This is fun.
And now hit me. Go ahead. I dare you.
This is fun.
I dare you.
No, it's gonna be 2 down.
I dare you to hit me.
You think it's 2 down, or you
Yeah,
think
of course
it's
he has to
all
play
in?
2 down. You can't do anything else.
Well, you could do this,
Oh yeah, you could try this.
but I like 2 down anyway. You gotta clear that point. I don't like that.
Ouch,
You
wow,
gotta clear that point anyway, so. Okay, Mochi, now you can get even more creative. Well, unfortunately, you can't come off the 13.
Yeah, but he's not going to move the guy on the 16 point
No,
at all.
I
He needs
would-
to keep the contact.
I
So
would
maybe
slot
he
the
just
2.
goes to the 2 point. That's what I would do.
I would slot the 2.
I would as well, which scares me. So it must not be right. What's the best play? 10 to 4, 9 to 8. Okay. Not playing with too many blocks in case
Yeah.
you get hit and you fan, I guess.
The one thing you don't want to do is get hit twice.
6-2, shot time, 2 down.
Yeah. And here's the match if he rolls a 2.
Double
No,
sixes.
that's
Oh, shot time.
shot time.
Shot time.
But shots aren't
Oh,
that
it's
good.
it's the Crawford game too.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a 3,
There it is in the window.
and I do think what's the race? What is the road? He's up 11 pips before the roll? Wait a minute, maybe you don't hit here. But if you don't hit, how are you gonna bring this home? Mochi's gonna play in.
The way you get it home, right, is by waiting till he has to break the 18. So this guy comes in, you bring your guys in, you wait till he leaves the shot, and then you try to hit. This gets hit by everyone. Everybody. You just come in and then what? Yeah, he's calculating it.
I always look first at the hitting play because I just like to hit. It's fun.
I know.
That's the real fun of backgammon is hitting.
But how many numbers hit you back?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying
I will say
I started with that.
It's like this: the fun part of boxing is hitting somebody, right? And the bad part of boxing is getting hit back. You know? Yeah.
Okay, that's a very good analogy. I'm glad you're here, by the way. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no problem.
I was a little lonely, a few matches that I had to do by myself. I had to sound intelligent, and I didn't have any intelligent with me to really do that job.
6-5. Wow.
Pretty ugly. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm breaking my board.
Wow.
I would have broken the 6 point. I would have played 6 to 1. But that's me.
That's right.
Is it right? Oh, good. I think a 5 point board would be good enough.
It's hard, you know. I say I never like to break my board, but then you reach a position where all the numbers hit you, and you just go,
Yeah.
no, maybe this is
No,
the exception.
I would have played right away before we saw XG. I would have gone to the ace point. So that's one play in 3 days where I would have done something better than Mochy. That's not bad.
5-2 is a disaster number. Look at that. 5-2. He's going to stay on the 13, I think. Just go 8 to 1. Yeah. Just stay as far back as
Well,
possible.
he's losing the race and he's got a big.
Well, yeah, but
game.
look at this. It's max contact. You just do this, and you just
Oh,
say,
that's
okay,
your
hit me,
worst.
you know?
I think you give him a 5 and a 2. It's 5 and a 2 instead of a 6 and 1. 6 and 1 is 24 shots, and a 5 and 2 has got to be less than 24. It's 15, 20.
I think this would generally be the rule if you had 2 checkers on the 13 point. That way, some of his 6s actually become bad.
It turns out that the difference is .002. So don't use up your clock on this one. The other reason that the other reason the other play was right, you know what the other reason was right?
He's gonna roll 6-9.
It duped the ones to cover and hit. The other play duped the ones and this didn't. I didn't get that far.
So 2.
But it was .002.
No, you can't go 2 crossovers. Maybe you just put it on the 5. If they stack on each other, you don't take the 2 crossovers.
Well, I think we're about to see
Oh,
a true, like I said, we're about to see Oliver stay in this match.
If you played it the other way, he would have had a guy off, though.
Another guy off again.
Yeah, he would have had a single guy off the double 5s. At least.
The other way is right anyway, you don't go hindsight. You were correct that for the logic you said, stacking the checkers gives you less robustness. Less salad dressing.
Less salad dressing.
The other word I like to use a lot is connectivity.
There you go. Do you also use golden point?
Oh, I do. I use golden point.
I hear golden point. It makes me cringe a little bit.
Very close here, very close. He's got a shot. He needs some doubles here.
He needs doubles.
He needs a double. There almost is. A 5-4 is almost double
I
fives.
can't really see how many he has stacked
Yeah,
there, but I can see in the tray because they're using it. Thank you. A lot of people don't use
He's
the tray.
got to roll doubles. And Mochy's got to roll ones twice.
Oh. Yeah, he needs aces.
You got to have a couple of aces. Otherwise, this match is over. And Mochy's going to win 2 points.
That's it.
And they're going to play the other 3 matches today. And again, Mochy
And we'll try to
at
get the,
2.5 is not, it's not bad. Mochy's 2.7 average for the week. It's a totally different thing to be playing on the board. Not totally different. It's a lot different to play on a board with the different settings and so on.
and we'll try to get the sound sorted out, yeah?
Well, I hope we can. We'll give it a try. And I want to tell you what's coming up. Our next match is Dagfinn, who's the number 2
Let me ask you a
player,
question. Are they gonna,
and Mark Olson. Go
Are we
ahead.
gonna watch this whole series, or are they just playing one match on stream? And
They're
then it's
playing
going
one
to the
match
next
on stream,
players?
and we're going to see each group play one match on screen.
Okay.
So we're through seeing Mochy today, and now we're gonna see each one of the 4 matches, one match of each.
Sounds good.
Our next match is Dagfinn and Mark Olson, and this Dagfinn I didn't really know, but everybody tells me they weren't surprised he came in number 2. This guy's got that kind of quality of play. So give us a few minutes. The next match, we know we started late, so we're going to try and keep it moving and get more going as fast as possible. I'll get back to you when I have an update on the time. In fact, I'm going to message somebody right now and see if we know when the next match will start. So we're in the amazing double wow hotels that are by the old airport in Istanbul. I went into the tournament room the other day. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see a picture of it. It's monstrous. I believe they have 600 and